Всем привет, с вами снова Смол. Продолжаем играть вампира. И мы пришли с вами в клуб Аскалон. Продолжаем. Опа.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed.
Трупы валяются, главное.
Lord
Нормально.
Редгрейв is waiting on you upstairs.
Офигеть. То есть они пытались напасть на клуб Аскалон, да? Но он его очень хорошо охраняет. Так, ладно, я здесь не буду на всякий случай воровать.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the
Жесть.
money to replace the furniture.
Ох. Это ваши самые крутые вампиры? Или как?
It's locked.
Так, не та дверь, окей. Наверное, сюда. А что у нас здесь? Ничего. Просто куча дорогой мебели и куча всего интересного, что можно было бы своровать. Опа-на. Опачки. Здрасте. Вот он, наверное. Старый хрыч. Нет, книга какая-то лежит.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him. Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss.
Интересно. Что же вы мне скажете?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgraiv, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance.
У него тоже глаза
I've heard some
красные.
astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Yes, she is. I may even say I admire her probity and
Да,
her
давайте
kindness.
будем
She has helped me since I was
слегка
reborn.
искренни по отношению к
The
ней.
centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the
Scully.
front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you
Сейчас.
asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Garda Prewen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want
No,
me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Нет, не знаю.
No,
Давайте так.
I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Я должен подчиняться.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
Даже так? Обалдеть.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Он хочет его заменить нашим главным героем. Я так это понимаю.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
Примерно понятно, значит. Кто вы, с чем вы и чего вы. Я согласен вступить. Другого выбора даже и нет.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes.
Клянусь.
I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood.
Ага, еще и свою кровь
It is
придется
time
дать.
to sign the Book of Allegiance.
О, как.
I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Еще пером. Обалдеть. А чё ты задумался-то? Ты будешь писать или не будешь? Или ты хочешь прочувствовать весь этот момент? А, кровью своей надо. Опа, еще и попробовал.
Delightful.
Обалдеть.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of
Кровь
us!
пьют, стоят.
One of us!
Старикан такой там сидит в кресле. Ну что, теперь с ними можно пообщаться, да? Поговорить с ним. Лорд Шеффилд, Хаммерси, Финни, Хатчинсон, Редгрейв. Больше никого здесь и нету. Давайте пообщаемся с этим. Это, наверное, Доусон.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece, figuratively?
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson.
Я так и думал, что Доусон. Вы член
Are you a
клуба?
member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
О, как.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Расскажите о
What can you
клубе.
tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Ну да. Вы не боитесь вампиров?
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
So you asked for membership.
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Ты хочешь стать бессмертным и ждешь этого момента.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
Насчет
What
Лорда
can you tell me
Редгрейва.
about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Правильно,
Mr.
согласен.
Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some
Наверняка он
form
здесь
of
бессмертие хочет.
immortality?
Absolutely not.
Нет?
I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Вот как. А стражи
What do you
Прюна.
know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Они
But
наши
they
враги.
are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Ну да, только для вампиров они враги.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Да. Короче, ты старый ворчливый дед.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Хорошо.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is
Серьезно?
your plan then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall.
Стена.
A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
А, вот так вот. Спасти богатых, пускай бедные там дохнут.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection
А,
as
даже
soon
так.
as they
Всех
appear.
замочить.
A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Вот как. Серьезный чел. Так, с вами поговорить нельзя, вы заняты. Хорошо, тогда поговорим с тобой, лорд.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Вы знаете
Do you know
Эдгара
Edgar
Сwansea?
Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Верно. Вы за мной
You were
следили?
spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Да.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles
Volcod.
and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Он восхитился нашей силой, но и побаивается ее наверняка.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Lord Redgreave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't be put outside until the Prewen endeavor.
Некоторые скали мирные, если я скажу, то он начнет расспрашивать по поводу, где живут они мирные. А вот скали жертвы, это другое
Skulls
дело.
are hostile vectors of contagion. That is a fact. But first and foremost, they are victims.
I agree, Dr. Reed. Most of the new Skulls who roam the streets at night used to be good British citizens, but they must be put down nevertheless.
Их, да, их можно прибить.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Вот так. Уровень гипноза. У меня увеличился уровень гипноза. Найди источники заражения в Вест-Энде. Поговорите с лордом Редгрейвом. Есть фамильные портреты. Расспросить местных о потенциальных источниках инфекции в Вест-Энде. А с тобой я еще могу
How's your
поговорить?
I have a few questions.
All right, but
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
a member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
Он
So he
правда
really
член
is a
клуба?
member then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
Понятно.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
William Marshall was a vampire? Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
Значит, его убили.
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
I must admit the guards of Freeman they must have spent years.
О Великой
What
Охоте.
can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Skulls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Skulls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
Ну да, логично.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
Ну вот как. Да ты серьезный мужик.
Goodbye.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed.
Так, с кем мы можем пообщаться еще?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club.
Все.
I personally
Как
went
отсюда
patrolling
выйти?
last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign echoes. This is an outrage.
Так. О, что здесь? Деньги. Ладно, деньги нам не надо брать. Да, конечно, здесь... О, здесь кабинет открыт. Ну-ка, что у нас здесь интересного? Какая-то бумага лежит. История цели клуба. Лады. Отлично. Документы мы еще будем собирать. Это нормально. Все, здесь больше ничего интересного. А, с тобой мы можем пообщаться, да?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Окей. Все, уходим. Вот такой вот клуб Аскалон. Я на самом деле ожидал здесь гораздо больше народу, и мне казалось, что здесь будет все сверх круто как-то. На деле оказалась хрень. Хрень хренью.
I think Lord Редгрейв just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Women of all countries unite. Support the equality between...
Придется здесь пообщаться с местными. Блин, не люблю я эту болтовню, но тем не менее, что же делать? Придется разговаривать с ней.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire,
Мистер
don't
Вампир, не
kill
убивайте
me.
меня.
Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to
Нифига
offer this
себе.
world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury.
А, Эшбери.
My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Она не вампирша, что ли? Шарлотта Эшбери. Она обычный человек, прикиньте. О как. Ее можно даже будет сожрать. Хе-хе-хе. Поинтересоваться жизнью в Лондоне. Сведения о
What do you
районе.
think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Да, я родился здесь.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Вот засранка. Заигрывает.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you are right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Да, в чем-то есть правда и твоя.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
Симпатичная, смотрите, мордашка. Блин, она мне нравится. Одевается как-то... Да ладно, тут все одеваются как-то, потому что это Англия. Непривычно.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Какая? Блин. Сожрать тебя будет вообще плохо. Потом у нас с Эшбери все накроется. С Элизабет.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life.
Серьезно?
I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
Ты не хочешь стать вампиршей. Я понял.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Ясно. Так, подсказочка одна появилась.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Да нет, не стоит ее бояться.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like
Какие вы.
any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
О, даже так. Да, мы подружимся. О, уже 3500 опыта за тебя могут дать, офигеть. Ну-ка, личные вопросы. Почему у вас
Do you know
дочери?
why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Да, кстати, вот это интересный вопрос. Даже мне интересно.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Видимо, туда нам придется
Goodbye,
наведаться.
Charlotte.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect...
Добраться до первого источника инфекции. Вот этот вот, да? Давайте доберемся туда. Посмотрим, что там. Да блин, я хотел поставить эту.
Don't let any strangers come into your house. Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Так, в пень, короче. Со всеми подряд я общаться пока не хочу. Так, идемте туда. Налево. А, не. Чё? Туплю-то. Давайте вот здесь пройдем. Так, я все правильно иду? Да.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Ах ты засранец. Сожри его, сожри, сожри. Отлично. Так, а этого замочи. Воу, там еще, блин. Ну-ка, кыш. Что ты орешь, блин? Murderous bastard. Иди нахрен. А я? Там еще вдалеке один. Охренеть. Иди сюда. Да кыш нахрен, блин. Задолбали. Уроды. От вас хрен скроешься, да? Да хорош, блин. Иди ты в жопу. Хорош. Больно. Фу, блин. Дайте отдышаться. Да сдохни нахрен. Тихо. Да идти твою дивизию. Валим, валим. Вот тебя теперь мы заразим этой дрянью. Давай, разрывайся на части, а тебя я просто зарублю к хренам, и все. Да блин, прыгай нахрен. Давай. Пей кровь, давай, давай, давай. Есть, отлично. Будем аккуратненько вот так вот бить. Каждый раз уворачивайся. Все. Все. Фу, блин. Это жесткие типы, реально. Опыта, конечно, до хрена дают. Теперь при битве. Так, сейчас мы его замочим. Он нам мешает. Ой, не то нажал. Давай, жри его, жри. Хорош. Есть. Все, идемте. Осмотрим сраный дом. Из которого жутко воняет. Вот этот, да? Угу.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Ясно, в ярости убил. Понятно. Так, давайте здесь все воруем. Они очень богаты, у них много чего есть. Все это нам потом пригодится. Так, а что за куча лежит? Просто одежда какая-то. Угу. Идемте дальше. Кровь. Еще один труп.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out.
Жесть.
He was a victim of brutal torture.
Так, тут уже даже воровать, походу, нечего. Тут уже все украдено до нас. Идемте посмотрим, что же здесь еще.
This one's
Еще
neck
труп.
is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
Угу. Так, какая-то дверка. Да, здесь богатенькие живут. Опа, еще какой-то тут сидит. Ё-моё. Скаль?
Thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
Привет. Вау, ни хрена ты. Капец. Хрен тебе. Фига, на кислотой плюет. А, жесть. Ух, ни хрена она плюнула один раз, блин. Ой, жесть. Да ни хера ты, блин. Да. Вот такие дела. Что я могу сказать? Да уж. Что ж, на этом мы с вами заканчиваем серию. Продолжим в следующей. Мы и так затянули слегка. Будем мочить очередного босса. Какой-то очень крутой скаль, который плюется кислотой. Это кобзда. Увидимся. Пока-пока.